Hello there, and you're welcome to another edition of Fox Country. My guest on the programme today is Joanna Harkin, and here's the conversation I had with her. Joanne, you're very welcome to Fox Country today. Good to have you with us.
I'm delighted to be here, Michael. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure, and our viewers' pleasure as well. Now, to start our conversation, would you like to tell us a little bit about where you're from, your background, and what brought you into music?
Well, I'm from Derry City, and I've always been singing and performing and writing songs and stuff from a very young age. I remember when I was very young, I used to just, if my sisters would say, sing as a wee song, I was the first one up there, loved the limelight and all that sort of stuff. And then as I was growing older and older, and I developed a love for country music, because that's kind of what all I would have heard, at home growing up, because Daddy was a massive country music fan, and so that's kind of where it originated. And as I grew older, I started to, pen some, what I thought at the time were just rhyming poetry, and it turned into songs and stuff, but I never really did anything with it, until more recently. Just always kind of sang with different bands here and there, and gigged away and stuff.
So growing up, and there was music in the house, and as you say, your dad was a great country music fan. Who would he have been listening? Who would you have been listening
We
to?
would have been listening to Big Tom, Philomena Begley, Daniel O'Donnell, of course, and just a lot of the greats, Susan McCann. I loved Susan McCann as well, and just all that scene that was about, and that's what we grew up listening. I remember, like going on holidays and stuff, and the car when we were going wherever we're going, that's all you heard. So it's understandable, you develop a love for it then as time goes on.
So you grew into that very early on, and that stayed with you. And as you said, you were singing those songs yourself, and writing poetry and turning those into songs. Yeah. And did you go to see any of these acts or bands when?
Not really. I think in those days they weren't as readily available to you, but I do remember one time we were on holiday in Westport, and Brendan Shine was on at the caravan site where we were staying, and I remember that vividly. I remember going and seeing him and thinking this was just amazing, to be out listening to music and in live music, and it was just,
that really whetted your appetite.
And that
for
was
it.
that brilliant. Yeah.
And your own family, apart from you, was anybody else in the family musical, singing?
No,
and,
nobody really took it on. No, just me.
It just came out in you.
Yeah.
I would always know Derry City is a great city for music and
Oh,
song and
definitely.
musicals and all sorts of shows as well. I think it's still the case, isn't it?
Oh, it is, and even in more recent times, there's been a real buzz like the live music, the live bands and all have really made a comeback, and it's super that that's happened. And I've been very fortunate to have been part of that sort of revival of the live music in Derry itself. I sing with a live band called Sensation, do a lot of weddings and corporate events, and the last couple of years we've been really fortunate to have turned on the Christmas lights at the Guildhall. So that was our biggest audience. There was a couple of thousand there, so it was great, and everybody just had a great time, and it was freezing cold, but worth it.
That's show business.
That's it, you're right.
Yeah. Well, not so long ago, you went into the recording studio.
I did.
First time, I think.
Yes.
And you recorded a song that you'd written, and it's the subject is very special to you. Would you like to tell us about the song?
The song is called Daddy. It's self-penned. It's a song that's very close to my heart. I lost Daddy 6 years ago now. They're just passed to cancer. Very swift, sort of within a few weeks, we lost him, and it was a really difficult time for all of us, and we'd planned to get married, and it was just devastating to think that he wasn't going to be there to be a part of it, and I was the baby in the house, so very sad times. We're thinking, coming up to the wedding, and I was just thinking a lot about the fact that, he did get to walk my sisters down the aisle, and that wasn't going to be possible for me, and it was just the thought of it even would made you think about maybe going away to get married or doing something different. But you know, Mommy says Daddy would have been really annoyed if you'd done that. So just thinking away about the situation and start to write down.
So you found a way to express what you were feeling.
I think so.
In the words of a song.
Definitely.
And having done that, you wanted to record the song.
That's
and the song
it.
is called?
It's called Daddy, but it actually sat for a long time and I didn't do anything with it. And I think that it has taken me as long as it has because it maybe just really wasn't ready to do it, and it's like letting go a part of your own self, you know, and letting everybody in.
So there came a point when you thought, I really must go in and do
I
this.
had to do it. I had to.
So that was, what, a month or two ago, was it? Or?
It was around about the summertime last year, and then by the time everything kind of got going, it was right about Christmas, just before Christmas.
Yeah.
So
it must be encouraging you to write more songs and record more songs, maybe
definitely.
an album.
You never know. You never know. I'll never say never.
The way to go. Yeah.
That's it. Never say never. But I do hope to have something else out maybe before the summertime, and fingers crossed it will be an original song as well. So
that would be
please
good.
God, everything goes right for it.
Well, to go with the audio version of the song, you've filmed a video.
I did, where I recorded the song in Harmony Studios with Brian Kerrigan and Letterkenny, and Brian put me in touch with a fella called Francis Keaton. He was from Newry, and Frank done such a good job on the video, and I couldn't, you know, recommend him enough. He's such a lovely man, and he done everything that I asked of him and more. You know, really just delight to work with, and so I said to him, you know, a couple of ideas for the video, and he was on board from right away, and we went and videoed. And
where did you film?
We filmed it all in Derry, so we did, and we went back to where we had our wedding, so it was kind of just to have that wee bit of nostalgia, I suppose. So we filmed some of it there, where the wedding was in the hotel, and just in a few parks and stuff beside us, and it was a bitter cold day. Now I will say that doesn't look like that in the video, but it was absolutely freezing cold, and it rained, and it only kind of sort of stopped raining for the luck of, I don't know, somebody was looking down, and Daddy must have been looking down, because it dried up for a wee bit then, you know, and we got some of the filming done, but it was a really good day. We had a good time, even though we were freezed to death.
Well, let's have a look at the video. Would you like to introduce it to our viewers?
Yep. This is my brand new single. Hope you all like it. It's Daddy. My daddy was my hero in my younger years. He kept me safe and happy and chased away my fears. He took every day as it came and lived without a care. Losing him was the hardest thing I've ever had to bear. He could light up a room with his charm and his smile. And when I needed him, he would travel for miles. My daddy's still my hero. Even now I'm fully grown. I love and respect him, the greatest man I've ever known. I love him my want you, me and mommy. I'll love him forever, and we will never part, 'cause I'll always keep him locked in my heart. My daddy, my hero, my daddy, my life. He was my strength, my courage, my guide. He was my strength, my courage, my guide.
Well, Joanne, that was a lovely video, I have to say.
Thank you very much.
And having seen that, I'm sure you're encouraged to do more videos.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Always writing away anyway, you know, if lyrics come into your head, and sometimes it's 3 in the morning, and you know,
Yeah.
always just be up writing them down in case you
Yeah.
forget. And
Yeah.
you know, it's just one of them things. It's a sort of creative side of you that has to come out somewhere, you know.
Is that how you start to write your songs? Does a thought come into your head or an inspiration?
Sometimes you just get an idea, you know. Sometimes you just think, you know, it's a topic. It might not even necessarily need to be something that is so heartfelt, like Daddy, you know. Sometimes it can just be a bit of fun, you know. You might hear a nice line somewhere and think, God, you know, that could turn into a real good song, or, you know. And at the minute, there's a lot of original stuff being brought into, you know, the Irish country scene, which is really refreshing as well, to hear something different, and you know, and not just the same songs that we've been hearing for years, you know. It's nice to get something different out there.
Yeah, and I believe you're getting good airplay with the song
Oh
now it's
God,
been released. Yeah.
Michael, it is doing absolutely fantastic, and I never anticipated the response that it has had. It is just, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm really grateful for everybody who has, you know, shared, commented, played it in their, you know, their shows, and on the TV channel. I'm just so delighted. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and with the band, are you playing in and around Derry, or are you travelling further afield?
We do Derry, Donegal, just kind of wherever that, you know, the work is. You know, we go and hop in the van and off we go. So
And
rock and roll lifestyle.
That's it. Tell me about the band. How many is in the band?
There's 5 of us,
Including yourself? is it?
including me. So I do a lot of the singing, and then a couple of the guys throw in a few songs here and there as well. And so it's just bass guitar, drums and keyboards. And you know, we all get along really well, and we just love it. We love
And
being
that's
out
very
gigging.
important, the band gels together, not just musically, but as
That's right. It's like
personalities
it's
as well.
your own
Yeah.
family, your
Yeah,
musical family,
that's
you know,
right,
and
yeah.
and the boys are having a great time, and that's just super. Great.
I
Love
can
it.
see from you enjoy it.
Great.
Yes. And so you're playing for weddings and corporate events, and apart from turning on the Christmas lights
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. And would you like to do more work with the band and go further afield and go on the big stage, so to speak? Or?
I think at the minute I'm just sort of going where the wind takes me, because I'm not really sure, you know, how things will go in the future, but I'm just loving every minute of what's happening now, you know. And it's great to get sort of recognition for doing some of my own stuff, and then still have that, you know, the band stuff, doing that as well. It's great.
Yeah. We mentioned some of the established artists that influenced you as you were growing up, that you enjoyed listening to. We have a new breed of country stars.
Most
coming
definitely.
along. You're going to be part of that.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Who would you listen to currently on the present music scene in Ireland? Who would inspire you with their music? Yeah.
Hands down, Derek Ryan. Massive fan, and have been from day one. I think that his songwriting ability is second to none, and I just think that, you know, he's a great, you know, entertainer and good showman as well, but just I'm a massive fan of his,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
think,
self-penned
a
stuff.
lot of people are, and because he's had a great experience. And,
Yep.
but he is writing some very varied stuff as well, I
Oh
have to
yeah,
say.
definitely. You know, and again, it goes from the heartfelt stuff right through to, you know, more upbeat kind of, you know, like Life is a River is probably one of my favourites of
good
his,
song.
definitely. And I remember the first time that I heard it, it made me cry, and that's always a good sign.
Yeah. Would you like your songs to be recorded by other artists? Is that something you would aspire to?
Do you know, I've never really thought about it, you
yeah.
know, as I say, with Daddy, I just, it was something that I done for me, and, you know, I didn't really realise even the response that it was going to have, so I never haven't really thought that far ahead, you know, but wouldn't that be lovely if some of them big boys wanted one of them? Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, how many songs have you written so far that maybe just lying there at the moment?
Oh, in the region of maybe 15 or 20, you know.
Oh, right.
Over the years, I've just been writing away and never did anything, you know, just kind of was writing lyrics always. And
would these be ballads or up-tempo songs or
I'd say
slow songs?
probably
whatever?
a mixture,
Yeah.
just a wee
Yeah.
mixed bag, definitely.
So maybe there's enough material there for an album.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, hopefully in the future, you never know. Maybe, you know, this time next year, maybe be ready to record some more of that kind of stuff. It'd be nice now, it would be lovely.
Yeah, so have you got any plans to go into the studio again in the next few months? To,
Well, I'm
record?
hoping
Have
to
you got
have
a song in mind?
I do. I'm hoping to have another one out for the summer. And then we'll take it from there and see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, things are happening very well for you, Joanne, at the moment. Are you surprised?
I am so surprised, really surprised. And I never anticipated how people would respond to the song, but I think that it's because it does resonate with a lot of people.
You're striking a chord with
Definitely.
some people.
And even if it's not a daddy or a father figure that you've lost, everybody who's lost somebody close to them can relate to the song. You know, it's just one of them things. And I'm glad that it, you know, can bring comfort to people that's maybe having a real bad day, you know.
Yeah, that's really nice, yeah. Well, you're part of the Irish country music scene now, and this is a question I sometimes like to ask. Where do you think it's going? How do you think it's going to develop?
I think it's just going to go on and on and up, because it is flying at the minute, like really doing so well. And especially like with the jiving and stuff, you know, it's unbelievable the amount of young people that are jiving away and doing, you know, the dancing. And like, not for me, I've got two left feet. I can't jive, but
it's amazing actually. I think we're seeing maybe some of the traditional nightclubs emptying out, and the younger people are now going to the country dances.
Yeah.
And jiving is the big thing, as you say.
Oh, it is, definitely.
But of course they are taking dancing lessons, and they're learning the jiving, the waltzes, the foxtrots. But the jiving is the one that really gets them out there. And I think the bands and the artists are recognising that, because there's so much up-tempo material
there is
being recorded and released at the present time.
Oh, definitely.
But it's brought a whole new renaissance to country
and it's
music
great to
in
see.
Ireland, yeah.
It's great to see, you know, and especially like the younger ones would just really, they would just show you up on the dance floor, you're afraid to dance beside them because they're that good. So, but we did a few years back. We done like a Strictly Come Dancing thing for the Foyle Hospice in Derry, and we had to learn a waltz and a quick step and all that sort of stuff, and so much pressure. So no, I definitely don't think dancing's for me. I'll stick to the singing.
You stay that side of the microphone, very wise, yeah. Well, Joanne, I've enjoyed our conversation today. I'm delighted that you could make the trip from Derry to the studio today, and it's been good to have you with us. And on behalf of our viewers and myself, can we wish you all the very best with your career. I'm sure you're going to do very well, and we'll keep an eye on where Joanne Harkin is going.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure to come down.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Joanne.
Thank you.
Well, my thanks to Joanna Harkin for joining me on today's programme. Now, to finish the show today, let's have a look at a lovely video from John McNichol and Mary Byrne titled Dream Lover.
Sweet dreams.